Good evening, America. You're about to listen to me, Sergeant Dave, host of the Remember the Fallen show on www.klrnradio.com. After having survived a rollover accident avoiding a landmine in a troop transport vehicle, military acronym LMTV, in the Parwan province in Afghanistan in 2004, I emerged and returned to the United States with an even more compelling tale of perseverance as I navigate the rapids of the troubled waters of the VA system. I gain new perspective with the fever of enthusiasm to all patriots across the windswept fields of America. All right, here we are live at the Remember the Fallen YouTube studio in beautiful Seminole County, USA. Right on the Winter Springs Oviedo line, where we will be talking about jarheads, Marines, squids, Navy, penguins, Air Force. You want to know why we in the branches of the military call Air Force penguins? Well, because 98% of them don't fly jets. All right, and we'll be talking to ground pounders like myself, Army, and an occasional Coast Guard, which we call Coasties. Maybe not. You see, one of us can be disregarded, two of us can be ran off. But a podcast show, we are a movement. All right, speaking of movements, things are not moving too well in August, right? Everybody's gone back to school. It's hot in Florida. It's hot across the country. And I came across a saying. It said, it's going to be okay to try and fail. Well, being in the armed forces, our creed was, I'm an American soldier. I will always place the mission first. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit. I will never leave a fallen comrade, right? And then I see this saying it's going to be okay to try and fail. Well, we in the armed forces know that failure is not an option. So this organization, neverforgottenmemorials.org and 501c3, every August, by August 5th, I have to have all the paperwork in for the IRS, okay? And they're dotting their I's, crossing the T's, so I got to have everything in order to submit, to pass another year. And I did. I passed another year. Woo! Hoorah! I don't have to worry for another year of doing paperwork for the IRS for a 501c3 nonprofit. You see, after 3 years, once you pass that 3-year threshold, you're in. And that's what I'm telling you, people. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying in. I'm going to do another 5-year term. Because what happens when I make that assessment every August, I make an assessment of, am I going to continue on? Am I going to get more resources? Am I going to try different angles? Yes, that's what I'm trying to do. And I'm using YouTube as another vehicle to get more audience participation. But just most recently, podcasting is really a unique situation because not everything is instant, like podcasts. And some things take a little bit more time, right? But the podcast world is so unique. When you can reach people halfway around the world, can find it and find help and inspiration wherever you are and wherever you need it. New ideas are just a download away for free. It's an amazing world we live in now, right? So to me, podcasting is stepping out of the box away from the Facebook facade where you have over 4,000 friends and you're tracking likes, shares, comments, opens, and clicks. For what? Right? While your bank account is drying up. Well, I have to keep going on, so I had to renew my website, had to renew my domain name. I upgraded my lifetime membership with the Veterans of Foreign Wars, and I had to get new audio equipment and all this. It's over $650 right there in 1 month, and nothing's coming in. So cut it short, Facebook has been distracting me. It's total distraction from the harder job of getting people to take meaningful action, right? When you have social media being free, it was just lulling us to the belief that good things were happening right around the corner, even when your bank accounts were empty. So I was really excited when I was starting to listen to some veterans podcasts out there, and we got a 5-year veteran. Beth Brodovsky. Brodovsky. You gotta look up Beth. She is a pioneer, man. I've been following her for a year. Never really listened to a full episode, though. I'm fairly embarrassed. Supposed to do some of her workshops. I never got around to it. Well, finally I caught this one aired, and it was her 200th session. It was a 5-year commitment she made to do 200 episodes, and I got to listen to the entirety of her 200th episode, and it was exactly what I needed. And it was about go to 200 ways you are driving participation. See, participation is engagement in action. And marketing and fundraising engagement is a leading indicator that shows progress, right? So leave it to the women because I think they're great. I always believe that women make effective podcasters because of their empathy and compassion for the humanity. So they have a different twist on things. Don't you agree? Yeah. All right. So when she came up with marketing and fundraising engagement is a leading indicator that shows progress, and she said it's big and it's really important, right? Well, we still need to move people from liking a post online into taking a desirable action that helps. Sorry, but my organization thrives because I'm in the hole $7,200, right? No more, $650, close to $8,000 again, all right? So for the last year, I've been hearing the terms and the ideas like buy-in, collaboration, know your audience, right? So I've been starting to pay attention to other podcasters like Beth. And what I learned from Beth is the 5 principles of participation. And I took some of her stuff and kind of blended it with mine, but I'm plugging her in. I want you guys to go Google Iris Creative and look up Beth Brodovsky, okay? She's going to be a great inspiration for you. And she talks about the 5 principles of participations. And the first one is shared vision. Yeah, I've been hearing this term. Buy-in, right? Get the boss's approval, the whole company will fall in, right? Well, you got to get the commitment and the belief to an idea, and then to an idea of change. It's difficult. And then she also speaks about loudly that you want to become from the leadership level on down throughout the organization. So the leadership's got to be in the forefront, and it's got to dwindle all the way down to the bottom person in the poll, right? It's got to have the same. Got to have the same enthusiasm, basically. But time and time again, it gets reported that if leadership is not in front championing an idea, then it has little chance of success. And I believe in that. So I've been championing for the last 4 years. So when you go to my website, www.neverforgottenmemorials.org, go to the top right. You see these captions in red. Those are my pages up there. I have more than just one page. Click on those other pages, please, and you'll see what I've done in the last 4 years. Okay, so, and if the leadership is not in front championing an idea, then it has little chance of success, right? So to really move into the realm, this is what Beth says, of shared vision, there needs to be an alignment behind an idea to go to the top and to the bottom and inside out. And that can only bring you to the second principle, collaboration. Probably the number one idea that people mention most often, and it can be daunting, though, okay? Because if you want to collaborate with another nonprofit, guess what they're worried about? Taking some of their fundraising percentages, right? So why would they want to work with you? If they're afraid of that, and that's what happens, all right? So I've been like the 100-pound cub in the room when it comes to these other big nonprofits like the VFW, AMVETS, American Legion. So these are the big companies, and then you got Reach Across America. So I kind of piggyback on them. I do the best I can, right? And they're so big that they don't worry about me, maybe gaining 1% of the fundraising, not even, right? So that's why I've kind of following and learning from them. And then she says, number 3, really know your audience. It's impossible to make a persuasive audience when you don't know what your listener wants. And I've been reaching out to you folks for the last year. Go to sgtdavemettthews@gmail.com for more shows content. What do you want me to say? What do you want to hear out there, right? And I ask you to send me a veterans advocate. I'll put them on the show. Very convenient to do a phone interview anywhere in the country. Not difficult at all. So I've asked you guys these things, and no one's giving me feedback. So I feel like all alone in this big podcast world, when no one in my audience is reaching out to me. So it's got to get me worried, right? Because most nonprofits have different audiences, and I'm one of them. You got donors, you got members, you got media. I got politicians. I got like 3 different politicians friends, yeah. But you see, the thing with us, a small nonprofit like myself, you have a feeling you need to connect to everyone. Oh, I got to connect with him. I got to connect with him. And this is where it becomes daunting. I mean, it's just overwhelming, right? And number 4, she talks about be a facilitator. Help people get what they want, not what you want. Yeah, I have to admit, I'm guilty of that. Yeah, I want donations. I need donations, so I'm going to ask you for it, right? I've been putting everything out there that, making patriotic holidays relevant. I'm getting out there. I'm doing things. I'm educating youth, showing resources to other veterans. I'm helping veterans move. I got veterans jobs, okay? Got a veteran a job. Took him right there, walked him into the interview, sat down with him, and I made sure he got the job. I do a follow-up every 6 months. He's still working there, okay? So I have resources, and the main resource we like to work with is the 22 a day that are taking their dying of suicide, which this time tomorrow there'll be 22 more that have taken their life. So 22 kills is really, it's devastating to me. So number 5 is delivering on experience. So, and that is my experience of the last 4 years, reaching out to veterans. And one thing they mentioned about delivering on experience, and when you promise something that doesn't show up, it creates a disconnect. And that happened to me recently. I didn't check this video. I could have sworn it was up and it was going to go through. And I put it out there to 10 veterans organizations, and I get this feedback, Dave, your video's not up. Dude, I'm like, you're kidding me. So, and what that does, that leads to a lack of trust, and without that support, it evaporates. So I have to go back to these 10 veterans, say, I'm sorry about it, I didn't do my homework, I should have checked that video, give me another chance. Basically, because they're going to have a lack of trust because it wasn't there. And it happens, right? So just recently, while we're going to talk a little bit more about Clint Lorance, it's time, I think, that President Trump, his new 2020 election campaign, I hope he's going to get pardoned. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and get you take care of the sponsors out there. We got to take care of them. And for all you fit veterans in the audience, get down and give me 22 everyday push-ups for the veterans that will die of suicide this time tomorrow. One of the saddest numbers is 22 in the numeric calendar.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans, America's largest mortgage lender. Spring will be here soon, so if buying a new home is on your to-do list, right now is the time to call Quicken Loans. Learn about which mortgage options make sense for you and get a jump on your competition. With our exclusive Rate Shield approval, the low rate you lock today is protected for up to 90 days while you shop for your new home. With a Rate Shield approval, if rates go up, your low rate stays locked. But if rates go down, you get that new, even lower rate. Either way, you win. Talk to us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com to take advantage. Here's another great reason to work with us. For a record 9 years in a row, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. Again, to lock in today's low mortgage interest rate and get the security of our exclusive Rate Shield approval, call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
For J.D. Power award information, visit jdpower.com. Rate Shield approval only valid on certain 30-year fixed-rate loans. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Hi, welcome to the Subway ad for the new Sesame Ginger Glazed Chicken Signature Wrap. How would you like it?
I'll take a...
Sports announcer at home?
Yeah, how'd you...
We just know.
My wife picks up the new signature wrap. It's got double the rotisserie-style chicken mixed with a sesame ginger glaze. She appears annoyed at me, but she shrugs it off. Those sweet and savory flavors are calling her name. She lifts the wrap and she takes the bite! Incredible! And now she's closing the door on my... Subway, make it what you want.
Limited time only, participating restaurants. Double meat basement, average 6-inch sub.
loves liberty. Our rights come from God, not the government. So why are you letting other people tell you what's best for your health care? Exercise your freedom with Liberty Health Share. Liberty Health Share is a community of people who voluntarily share one another's medical costs. Liberty Health Share is founded on the idea that most people truly want to help one another. Healthcare sharing allows members to do just that as a true community that supports one another in times of need. Liberty believes people should make decisions for themselves and their families. Members are able to take back the freedom to make their own decisions about their healthcare. Freedom from guilt or doubt about how your money is used. You have the freedom to direct your healthcare, not to be dictated to by bureaucrats. Stop letting others tell you what to do and join a community of like-minded people. Exercise your freedom. Join Liberty Health Share and take back the control of your healthcare while helping those around you. Call Liberty at 855-58-LIBERTY. Again, that's 855-58-LIBERTY for more information, or you can check them out at libertyhealthshare.org. Again, that's libertyhealthshare.org.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
Whether we realize it or not, everyone has been impacted by addiction. We all have family members. We all have friends that have faced this demon. But there's hope. There's hope in recovery. There's hope when we work together to rise above the fight of addiction. I'd like you to join Mac Mullings every Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m. on Rise Above Radio on KOKC 1520 AM, where they talk about the hope that is available to all of us.
Okay, we're back from our commercial break, and the beautiful Remember the Fall on YouTube studio. on Seminole County, USA, on the Winter Springs Oviedo line. And we were just talking about how August is a slow time of year, just to kind of remind you guys of our mission statement, what we do. And basically, we inspire and empower our battle veterans with hope and resources to improve their quality of life. And what I mean by that is assisting with a veteran. 2 years ago, I was able to get a veteran a job. I was able to pick him up. I took him to the job interview. I sat next to him, and I made sure he got the job, and he did. And I check on him every 6 months, and just proud to be able to do that with. He's a good worker. You know, veterans are dedicated, so I knew he'd be a great worker, and he's still working there. Also, I help veterans move. I had a big Chevy Suburban. So I do things like to help them in their quality of life. Now, and also, remember the following is we honoring them when they reach their final resting place by displaying this gratitude at community events. And now when you go to my Facebook page, www.neverforgottenmemorials.org, go to the top up right, you see in large captions in red all the pages, all the things I've done in the last 4 years. Okay? Those are the community events we're talking about here in my mission statement. And these events, they resonate to our youth on the value of freedom and their sacrifices, what these brave men and women have done for our freedom today. And that's mainly our mission statement. But there was one thing that I wanted to talk about that was, more than a year ago, and that's about Clint Lorance. And I think he deserves to be back in the news again, because it looks like he's going to get a second look, a civilian second look of his court case. So Lieutenant Clint Lorance, if you don't remember, back in an Army officer, is now serving 19-year sentence for murder in military prison on Fort Leavenworth, Kansas. Is expected to have his case reviewed by a civilian court soon. Bravo, man. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to the results of that. And the civilian review comes after former First Lieutenant Clint Lorance, 34, had an appeal rejected by a military judge 2 years ago. Okay? So on July 2nd, 2012, Lorance gave orders to his soldiers to fire on 3 unarmed Afghan men on a motorcycle near their patrol. One soldier initially fired 2 shots, missed, and watched as the Afghan men came to a stop, dismounted their bike, and walked towards the Afghan National Army soldiers who were at the front of the U.S. Afghan patrol, according to the court records, right? So the Afghan soldiers gestured for the motorcyclists to leave at that point. Well, Lorance ordered over the radio for the platoon's gun truck to engage the Afghan motorcycle using an M24B machine gun, killing 2 of the riders and wounding the 3rd, who then managed to flee. The shooting near Strong Point, Penyanze in Zareh District, Kandahar Province, earned Lorance few supporters, even with his own platoon. Several of Lorance soldiers testified as court-martial that the riders posed no imminent hostile threat at the time of the shooting, helping to secure a conviction. So I heard they turned on him because he's a new platoon leader that came in. That's what I heard. So in a petition to the Army Court of Criminal Appeals in 2017, Lawrence's lawyers argued that biometric evidence showed that at least one of the men on the motorcycle was linked to an improvised explosive device incident prior to the shootings. Now that's what I heard. They had bomb residue on their fingertips, okay? The other slain rider knew someone who was linked to the hostile action against U.S. forces, and the victim who fled the scene was also alleged involved in an insurgent attack after he was wounded. These guys are terrorists, man. And he, because of his split decision of taking out to protect his own men. So regardless, the appeal was ultimately denied by Army judges, who wrote in their opinion that Lorance knew none of that information and the victims posed no threat at the time. Now Lawrence's attorneys have taken the case outside the military justice system and placed on the docket in federal civilian court in Kansas. So the U.S. Army Corps of Criminal Appeals denied Lawrence's appeal, stating that a prosecutor in a double murder and attempted murder case has no obligation to run a simple biometric check to determine who the fighting aged males in the battlefield were. The judges wrote in their opinion that they declined to require trial counsel to seek out and search into the abyss of the intelligence community. Well, anyway, it was ended up being a bee's nest, and and now they're kicking it down the road, and it's really sad that he basically saved his own men, and he had to make a decision. Were killed. So he was also convicted of threatening a local Afghan, firing an M14 rifle into a village, trying to have one of his soldiers lie about receiving incoming fire, and obstructing justice by making a false radio report after the 2 men on the motorcycle were killed. I can understand that happens. It's sad that he got caught doing that. That probably hurts his chance. But Lorance, once again, had only been with the platoon briefly as he replaced another lieutenant who was wounded by an IED in the days prior. So some of the soldiers under Lawrence's command spoke with the Army Times in 2015, including Todd Fitzgerald, former specialist and infantryman in Lawrence's platoon, who testified during the original court-martial. Us testifying against him, it wasn't a matter of not liking him. It wasn't a matter of any type of grudge or coercion, Fisher said. It was simply we knew that his action, based on our experience, having operated in that area for months, were going to breed further insurgency. If you kill local area citizens, they're no longer willing to help you. So the platoon, which fell under the 82nd Airborne Division, was frequently... Hold on a second. Hold on, my thing's bouncing around here. Combat during the deployment. In the days leading up to Lawrence taking over, the soldiers had sustained 4 casualties, including the previous platoon leader. So a lot was going on. So the area the platoon was in was known to be a hotbed of insurgent activity. Ken Hoover, a U.S. citizen government contractor, watched some of the events leading up to the shooting through the cameras on a stationary blimp. I saw 3 fighting-age males shadowing the American patrol at a distance of about 300 meters, Hoover wrote in Lawrence's new court petition that would be presented in the civilian court. In my experience, they had indication of Taliban or insurgent fighters because they were armed with AK-47 assault rifles and using ICOM radios while moving along the back wall of the village toward the American position. Court records did not indicate that those motorcycles, if they were indeed the same ones who Lawrence later ordered soldiers to shoot, were armed at the same time of the shooting. Daniel Gustafson, who served as the command sergeant major for the battalion of Lawrence's platoon, was located in the Tactical Operations Center that day. Okay. Let me find out. And he says, I understand that the 3 Taliban scouts riding the motorcycle approached Lawrence's platoon from the northeast, that several insurgents were using ICOM radios and maneuvering into fighting positions to the north, and that a motorcycle rider came down to the west who was stopped, detained, and was found to have homemade explosive material on his hands. Okay? This is frustrating. This is because of the rules of engagement, what Obama put in place, and many Marines died on Obama's rules of engagements that he put in there in the system and agreed to. Many Marines we lost in Afghanistan due to that. The chain of command thought so highly of him that when the platoon was wounded, there were a number of lieutenants who could have been selected for this tough assignment that would absolutely result in gunfights occurring while on every patrol. So we're going to have some comments here. This is Gene Wolchik. I've been keeping up with this on Clint. He's a friend of mine. How can you train our young men to go into another country to fight and defend, but yet condemn men when they do their jobs, especially under unfair rules Obama had set? He didn't care if our boys were killed by his Islamic Brotherhood, which he was. He was setting these soldiers up for examples to make under his regime. I'll be damned if I would not shoot if being attacked by men that refuse to stop. Obama regime held back important information about DNA on the 2 of the enemies that were killed. The information that there were not used. So that's what I heard too. So there were bomb makers that used bombs on our boys, and they took DNA off their pieces if bombed to match up with the 2 men shot that was a match with the DNA of the men. Also, in the Obama regime, a general had ordered the men of Clint, right, of Clint's squad to testify against him for immunity and was told what they say. Also, they were being shadow banned by these terrorists. Clint is a wonderful American. He still wants to serve in the Army after all they have done to him. Please support Clint, always faithfully, as Clint writes me at the end of his letters. Jack Finelio writes this. This platoon was being flanked by the Taliban. They used ICOM radios, a dead giveaway that they were all Taliban, and the goal was to ambush Clint's platoon. You are right about the DNA. It was proven that they killed other Americans. They were not simple farm boys. They deserve to be blown away. Clint absolutely made the right call. Then you have Eddie Smith. Gene, there are a lot of us out there that support him. Have you or anyone contacted President Trump about this case? Of course. And then you got Wilbur Hamilton. Military prosecutors love siding with the enemy in Iraq. Investigators tore up the place looking for local witnesses in the Hamdaniyah 2006 case in order to convict one of 7 Marines plus 1 sailor. USMC convicted the Marine who did not kill the victim. Convicted the Marine that did not kill the victim. Military prosecutors are not like normal Americans who are happy when our warriors return home alive. Wow, that's a strong statement. Okay. Here's another one. Jack Fidelio, military judge, shot his mouth off about Clint while giving a speech on Vietnam. Very, very unethical. And the prosecutor would not allow a great deal of evidence, nor the biometrics. Again, very unethical. So where in the military could Clint get a fair appeal? Civilian Court of Kansas would hear all the evidence. I know Ma, one of the Clint's attorneys, would love to see both the judge and prosecutor charged for their theatrics at the cost of 19 years behind bars for an innocent man. They should be stripped of their stripes. I would love to see that happen. On the other hand, Clint should be given back his rank, his back pay and benefits, and then should be elevated to a greater rank. I agree. Give this guy his day. So please, let's go ahead and send President Trump a letter to the White House. I mean, you sure can Google that. I don't have it offhand. I should have had it for you, but Google, pardon Lieutenant Clint Lorance, Lorance, okay? And just get it out there. And I'm sure if he gets enough letters, I think it's going to be one of his 2020 things after he gets elected again. I really do. This is an election year. I think if he pardons him, it's going to help his base. And this rules of engagement is ridiculous. When I was over there, I was so nervous when I didn't know who. They all looked the same. They all wearing their robes. And they all had AK-47s, and you didn't know who was a good guy or a bad guy. And I can imagine if you have people on a motorcycle coming at you in a hotbed, and they want to ambush you. I mean, I would be on alert. And when they did not stop, they kept coming. He ordered you to protect his own platoon. So let's just keep that in our minds there because, we need our veterans. We need every veteran we possibly can have. And just to let you know, we love our veterans. And we're going to stand by our veterans every chance we get. So we're always going to be there because that's what we do for resources. So another one of our resources we do is we're all for the resources that we help with Agent Orange. We don't really. We help with just condoling and helping out with the wives and widow warriors. We kind of assist the best we can. I gave out pins to them, tell them how thankful for their gratitude for all their support for their loved ones. And this is a terrible time in history that we actually harmed our own men with this defoliant. And then we got water contamination at Camp Lejeune, Camp Pendleton, Fort McClellan, which where I was at. They say I might have problems with later down as I get older with water contamination. That's another thing. We lost people losing Marines every day right now with water contamination. And then we get the burn pits. So we're getting the word about the burn pits. And if you were in near any type of burn pit and you need to have any breathing apparatus for you, you need to go get on the docket with that. Go see the VA. You don't have to have a cough to go get that, to get on that docket there. And also, of course, 22 killed. That's big on us, that we're always looking out for other ways or resources for that. And we want to help out with vet jobs, which is VFW is doing a great job with vet jobs. So what we want to do is make sure that we get this website out there, which is www.vetjobs.com, and the source for transitioning military veterans and their family members for finding quality jobs in the civilian workplace. It's very successful. It's out of Marietta, Georgia. So you can also call them at 770-993-5117. I'd give them a call if you're looking for any type of job situation coming up. It's totally free to transition military veterans and their family members. It's a leading military job board on the internet, especially for jobs requiring security clearance. Largest worldwide jobs database of employers who want to hire veterans and their family members. Employment assistance section has extensive materials on how to launch a search job, successfully pass interviews, write resumes, write cover letters, and other information used for a career search. Career advisory and career testing, extensive database of resources for veterans, extensive database of resources for spouses. Candidates can post resumes to be searched for employers. Veteran Eagle Career Newsletter, comprehensive listing of military-related jobs. Please get out there. Vet Jobs is for all members of the military family, defined as officers, enlisted civilians, along with family members of the United States Air Force, Army, Coast Guard, Department of Defense, Marine Corps, Merchant Marine, National Guard, Navy, NOA, Public Health Services, and Reserves. So, it's also endorsed by Vietnam Veterans of America, Naval Reserve Association, Veterans of Modern Warfare, Student Veterans of America, and Hope for Heroes. Okay, Vet Jobs is exclusively sponsored by the Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States. Yep, I just became a lifetime member. I'm with the East Seminole County Chiliota Post 10139. I'm on their committee, and I'm helping them out get a grant through the Home Depot. Very excited to do that for them. So now at the tail end of our show, and what do we get across today? We need volunteers, we need donations, we need shows content, I need veterans advocate for the show. So I need you to go to, once again, it's 0 Dark 30 for the show, and it's just about ready. I'm just about ready to go into rack ops mode. But before I relax, never. I need one last promo. So go to SGTDAVEMATTHEWS@gmail.com for any suggestions for the show. Maybe you know of a good veteran that would be a great hoorah for the show. Email me once again. Okay, you can go to my Facebook page. All one word, Remember the Fallen. Like that page, please. Once again, copy Remember the Fallen, all one word. You can go to my Twitter handle, @HeroicMemorials. And if you're not into the Twitter bird thing, you can go to my website at neverforgottenmemorials.org. Mark your phone calendar every Thursday night after 8 o'clock. You're going to see Remember the Fallen with Sergeant Dave on KLRNradio.com. That's Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. All right? Well, until all the troops come home safe, Pop Smoke out.